Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to take a couple minutes to talk about what I call big ticket items, okay, when it comes to behavioral issues. Once a dog has already gained a level of control in the relationship and it's beginning to manifest itself in various ways towards other people, other dogs, food, situations. And again, this is where it can be very, very challenging when it comes to overcoming certain specific issues. Now, here's the thing. Again, I use the parenting example as a way to really understand, okay, our role, okay, when it comes to dogs as social animals, as pack animals, in terms of relationship, but in terms of, again, seeing things in a kind of an overall way, and then starting to work on specific, more kind of big ticket behavioral problems that, again, can be very challenging. Now, again, moving over to the parenting example, okay, and again, very helpful when you start to consider the example between a parent and a selfish child, okay, what you'll see is the selfish child start to focus in on or invest in certain things that really allows them to, express their selfishness, okay. And one of those things, again, the example I use is video games, okay. You'll see, selfish, very selfish children start to invest in that world, okay, because it allows them to express. It's like a type of supply source. And so they become very focused in on video games, okay. And this can be very frustrating. It's a big ticket item, right? It's like, it starts for the parent, becomes very challenging, saying, okay, my child is, playing the video games like, 24/7. Seems like everything else is beginning to suffer because of it. Relationships, grades in their school, everything. It starts to become a very, very big issue. But again, what I encourage people to do is to step back and look at it as being symptomatic of a bigger problem. Okay, the problem is the child actually has become selfish. But then stepping back even further from there, and again, I talk about our role in terms of relationship, is actually looking at the parenting style itself. The question you have to ask is, well, is my parenting style contributing to the issue? Am I, indifferent? Am I not investing in the relationship the right way? Am I not aligned with the right parenting style, the authoritative parenting style? Looking at that, start to draw back. But again, in terms of the big ticket item, okay, you have to approach it from a relationship perspective, okay, in terms of fixing the overall relationship. Start to versus, okay, and then this is how people get themselves in trouble, even in terms of dogs as social animals, in terms of certain interactions. I talk about the role of influence and why, even in terms of dogs going into high challenge, okay, in terms of, again, going back to the parent example, it'd be like going into the becoming very, very frustrated and upset over the video game issue, going in, just start yanking the cords out of the wall without any sort of a discussion or not much of a discussion. And then again, just think about that, going into high conflict, just go in and say, I'm really upset about this issue. I'm going to go in and just pull the plugs. Now, that's not to say that you don't deal with it, okay, but I understand there's a way to deal with it, okay. It's not saying that you have to have a drawn-out conversation either, but it's about making sense, okay. It's about, again, stepping back, looking at your role in it, starting to get dialed in, okay. All the themes I talk about, think about, talk about interacting with, dialed in, versus, okay, think about the big themes in the dog training world right now. What? Bribery, accommodation, negotiation. Like trading the video game system for another video game system, the context of agreeableness, all those themes. That's another thing I'd really encourage people to think about, because again, that's not the way forward either, okay. There's a way forward, but it certainly isn't that. So again, I talk about big ticket items. Understand there's always going to be a big ticket item, dogs, in terms of how they're expressing control towards other dogs, other people, certain situations. But my encouragement is, don't get drawn into over investing yourself, just starting to target that that behavioral problem that way, and kind of roll in like a bull in a china shop without first addressing your role and it's starting to align yourself with a process. Okay, I talk about interaction-based process, which is going to start to change perceptions the right way. Then when you start to draw into those big ticket items, okay, you do it in such a way it's not personal, okay, like that anymore. You're not going to get overly upset, okay? You're going to see it as being symptomatic, but then again, you're starting to draw into those behavioral issues the right way. And so again, the issue about agreeableness and changing behavioral problems the right way, that starts to happen without going into high conflict. Okay, very, very important. So again, my encouragement to people is really look at the situation itself in terms of relationship. I talk about getting like kind of like a three-dimensional view of things, and then again start to draw into certain kind of over-the-top situations. But it's all technique. If you watch how I'm doing it, even with other dogs, how I'm moving, how I'm turning, being dialed in, how influence is part of the equation, being in a proactive way, all those things sets up, okay, agreeableness without going into high conflict. So influence is still part of the equation, but it's just about making sense to the dog, okay, not getting personal. But again, looking at our role in that at the same time, being consistent, being dialed in, being, interacting at all levels, okay, which again goes into this whole issue about your parenting style, adjusting your parenting style, which again is the solution. Thanks for watching.